सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. There is one question. If everything is an illusion, then why are our actions or deeds accountable? What is the significance of karma? No, there is a assumption in this question that just because there is an illusion, karma will not function. If you go beyond the illusion, then karma will not function. But while we are experiencing this world is governed by certain parameters, certain factors. We said there is time space causation, and this causation is immaculate, it is infallible. So there is a question, Jyotiji, that if everything is illusion, what is the significance of karma? If you go beyond the illusion, going beyond the illusion is a state of enlightenment. The self-realized person, the enlightened people, they exactly know the nature of the world and they know exactly how to relate to it. We are caught up in the phenomena of the world, and because we are caught up, this concept of Maya is given. So I'm just opening the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 7, I think verse 14 and verse 14 and 25. Thirteen itself, he talks about delusion, deluded by these natures composed of the three gunas. All this world does not know me well. You are deluded by the sattvic, rajasic, tamasic gunas. 14th verse, verily this divine illusion, Daivya Maya, made of the gunas, is difficult to cross over. Those who seek me alone can cross over. We must strive to go beyond the gunas. And then whatever he says in between, 25th verse, he says, you have covered the in between part properly, so you can just revise it. The 25th verse again says, verily, wheeled by this yoga maya, illusion born of the union of three gunas, I am not manifest at all. The deluded world knows me not as the unborn, the imperishable. So based on what we covered last class, does anybody have any question? What I remember we covered was the story of Narada. Narada and Krishna were walking, and Krishna asked for a glass of water. And in going to get the glass of water, Narada falls in love with this lady, marries her, has children, and then there is complete pralaya, destruction, where there's a flood. Entire family is wiped off, and he's beating his chest and saying, "Oh, how can you do this to me, God? How can I do this to me, God?" And Krishna politely asks, "Where is my glass of water?" So that is the Maya. So in this context, sometimes Maya is used as that strange phenomena which keeps us bound to the world, which keeps us completely interested in the world. How much ever we study that the world can give us finite pleasure, world can only provide us pleasure or happiness, which has a beginning and an end. Everything that we contact, all our experiences, all our relationships, whatever you can know or experience, falls into the falls into the falls into the realm of ephemeral. They all have a beginning and an end. Knowing that it is limited, it is finite. Theoretically, knowing that it is limited, finite and it's going to pass away, we get completely attached. And this is what we say, this is Maya. That in spite of being told, give a direction is given that within itself lies supreme peace and bliss, eternal peace, infinite joy, absolute bliss. Yet we remain caught up in the world, yet we remain pursuing the world. So that's another usage of Maya. So people will say, particularly in India, India being a spiritual country, in any simple person who is not educated, not very intelligent, as it were, they will say, "Sab moh maya hai." Everything is Maya. Everything is Maya. Um, One important statement that is mentioned in the Upanishad is that this Maya is beginningless, but it has an end. Maya is beginningless, it has an end. How this phenomena started? See, we are in a cloud of ignorance, we are in a cloud of mystery. We don't know where we came from, we don't know how everything started, we don't know where we are going, how we are going, or what is the meaning and purpose of life. We can only take a guess. Thanks to Vedanta, we can make some sense out of it, but we are in a cloud of ignorance. How did this all start? We say Maya is beginningless, but it has an end. We don't know how it started, but it has an end. Exactly like the phenomena of dream. How do we fall off to a dream? See, even for that matter, sleep. You can't really try to sleep. You just fall off to sleep. There is no method, technology to fall off to sleep. The alarm can wake you up, but there is no alarm that make you fall off to sleep. It's divine grace only when suddenly you fall off to sleep. So similarly, how does this dream start? Dream just starts, it just happens. So with respect to the dream, we can say the dream world is beginningless. We don't know how it started, but it has an end. So the related example to that is given is that don't worry. Many people get caught up. How did this all start? How did this all start? We're not saying that it's a wrong question. I guess every human being, while trying to seek peace or the truth, this question will arise that how did it all start? How did this all start? It's almost unavoidable. Yeah, Smoke. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, Percy, you said the Maya has an end but is beginningless.
Maya is beginningless, but it has an end.
Correct. So it has an end but it's beginningless.
Hmm.
But then now when we compare it to the dream, and we can also compare it to the Maya, so the person who has woken up, he can say, no, that like there was a beginning, how it began. Like now
Yeah.
we can discuss that. Okay, we fell asleep, so there was a
Yeah.
beginning.
So once the Maya ends, then you can see that it had a starting and an end. While you are caught up in it, you cannot find out how it started. The Bhajagovindam says, see, this verse of Bhajagovindam, it's one of the most fantastic verse of Bhajagovindam. Particularly, Stephen, if you get Swamiji's commentary, Bhajagovindam is an introductory textbook. It's like
Yes.
one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, thanks.
If you have Swamiji. So it's just 31 verses. It's like one chapter of Gita, but very popular. I missed the verse number. Okay, if I say he directly connected to the this verse is directly connected to what we are studying. He says, okay, I'll just chant it. Kastvam koham kutayatah kame janani kome tatah iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. This, the last line. Sarvam asaram vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. See the translation. This is what I'm saying. We are caught up in delusion, but sometimes we are blissfully unaware, complacent. But these questions must come to a human being. At some point of time, these questions must come. Who are you? Who am I? Where have I come from? Who is my mother? Who is my father? Thus inquire, having renounced the entire world as essenceless, born of imagination. Another word for all this is Maya. Vishwam Tyaktva Swapna Vicharam. This world is essenceless, born of Maya. Now, he says this is essenceless means it's a brilliant way to prove it. First of all, I'm again and again cautioning that this kind of class is done one-to-one with the master. But anyways, so many areas we compromise. This is a good compromise where we are doing an online class, interested people are coming. But my again caution to you is this is not that you study about illusion and then you feel that everything is illusion. It's not meant for that. It is meant to create a sense of detachment, create a very powerful sense of suspicion. Don't take things for granted. It is not, all is not what appears to be. All is not what appears to be. If you take it seriously, yes, it kind of, the term uses, it pulls the carpet under your feet. If you really take it seriously, it should give you sleepless nights. But then, if you are a mature sattvic seeker, your question would be, okay, if I am caught up in this Maya, and how much ever you may write the exam 100 out of 100. What is Maya? What are the different points covered? Everything you might write down, get 100 of 100, yet be very, very caught up in Maya. It's not that theoretical understanding will help you overcome Maya. It should give you that spirit of detachment. Okay, I really don't need to be worried about losing this world. I don't really need to be afraid of this world at all. There is a higher truth. I must seek it. How to seek it? You have to be the best human being in the Maya. It's like if you are caught up in a prison, the walls of prison, time, space, causation is bound. It's making me bound. Now imagine people are caught up in a prison and they don't know. That's the movie Truman Show. Everybody else, it's a Truman Show. It's a movie by Jim Carrey. Worth watching it. I would say when you are in this 2-3 weeks when we are discussing Maya, watch Inception, watch Matrix, watch this Truman Show. It'll add value to what we are studying. So in Truman Show, what happens? This character is born. He's born on stage. He is the only person who doesn't know he's acting. Everybody else comes and goes. They are just playing a role. They know, but this guy doesn't know. Now imagine we are in a prison and we don't know we are in a prison. We'll be happily living inside the prison. Whereas our what you call our birthright or our real treasure is Satchitanand, that absolute bliss which is beyond Maya. So at least from not knowing that we are caught up in a strange phenomena, after studying this illusion, there should be a serious doubt, a serious suspicion that perhaps there is some mysterious phenomena I'm caught up in. Now, how do I get out of it? You have to get out of it by doing proper karma, bhakti, jnana. Not by walking around like a zombie and say, oh, this is Maya and that is Maya. Some books actually write it. Apparently, when Swami Vivekananda met Ramakrishna Paramahamsa in one experience, I wish I could do it, in one hold your forehead or something he happened and he realized the whole world is Maya, and then he was going and looking at the lamppost and the jug and he's saying everything is God, everything is God. Now, what was Vivekananda's experience and what is written in the books, we don't know. I don't have the power to make, nobody has the power to suddenly make you feel the world is illusion. There is this incredible, why we are studying it and why we are sort of building it up and says this is fantastic, this is fantastic. Swamiji also used to do it. The part C of the Vedanta treatise where this is explained, it's the highest philosophy that is known to mankind. And even Upanishads don't talk about it. We are blessed that Swamiji had an access to Swami Ramatirtha's books, and what the Upanishad also doesn't explain, he explains it, and there is this fantastic punchline. When you hit that, it really makes you feel, my God, after all, this could be true. After all, this could be true. That is very, very valuable. That thought, my God, this could be true. That suspicion, then it creates a detachment. And then with maturity, as I said, whatever role you're playing, play that role perfectly. Whether you're a lawyer or a teacher or a computer engineer, whatever role, a father, mother, brother, sister, play your role properly, but never lose that suspicion. that there is a reality. So last time we covered, I'll come back to the Bhajagovindam verse. Last time we covered what is reality, that which persists in past, present, and future. This world is appearing to us now, not in sleep, not in dream. The world is not real. Then is it unreal? Unreal is that which never existed. This world is not that. The world is existing for us now. So then this world is not unreal. And something which is existing all the time and something which never existed, they cannot coexist. It's madness. How can something which is existing all the time and something which never existed coexist? No. So what is it? The world is illusion, a maya. Now coming back to why Bhajagovindam says this world is illusion, essenceless. I come to any one of your house and ask you, who's your father or mother? You may show, this is my father, this is my mother. I say, okay, where did they come from? Sir, what is this? They came from my grandparents. Where are they? Maybe they are also alive. You take me to them. Where did they come from? So they came from my great grandparents. Sir, sorry, they are not alive, but I have their picture. So you show the great grandparents. And I said, where did they come from? Sir, sorry, picture is also not there. You are bugging us a lot, but anyway, I have the names. And you show the names, whatever that name is. I said, where did they come from? Now, if you just keep on, so I have nothing else to do. Where did they come from? 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 What will you reach? The first set of parents, right? First mother or first father. If you go on going, we don't have time. I will not bore you like that. No, where did they come from? Ultimately, you come to a first father or first mother. What does first father or first mother mean? That they had no parents. If they had no parents, can they exist? They don't exist. If they don't exist, their children don't exist, then you don't exist. The world is essenceless. See, this can be again, if you examine the dream, you can exactly believe it. It can exactly be, it really hits you again. Let me take Priyanka. Let me take Priyanka means definitely take her example. Suppose Priyanka is tired and falls off to sleep and she is dreaming. And I have magical powers. So I enter into Priyanka's dream. And I ask Priyanka, how old are you? Let's say she says, I'm 35. 35? What nonsense. I don't believe you. Prove it to me that you're 35. Arisa, why don't you believe me? And she shows whatever has happened in her life. She says, okay, these are my parents. This is where I went to school. Maybe I did this job for 10 years. He is my company certificate saying I worked for 10 years. And she shows a college certificate, school certificate. She accounts for every moment of our 35 years of life. Where is this happening? Stephen, where is this happening?
In the dream.
Kala, where?
In the dream.
In the dream. Whose dream?
Priyanka's.
In Priyanka's dream. All this is happening in Priyanka's dream. Priyanka was dreaming. I enter Priyanka's dream. I ask her, how old are you? She's 35. I'm a spiritual person. I don't believe all this. So how are you saying you're 35? And she very, very sweetly gives account for every minute of her 35. I mean, since every minute means, you see, I was born here, birth certificate, Pune Municipality Corporation birth certificate, and then school certificate, and whatever, whichever certificate. Don't.
Mumbai.
Huh?
It's Mumbai, Sunflower Hospital.
Mumbai. Okay, Mumbai hospital. The doctor also was very good. Everything, then I fell down, I fractured my hand. This X-ray is also there. This X-ray is 20 years old. Every minute of 35 years can be accounted for in the dream. And then I get really angry. How can you say you're 35 years old and give Priyanka a tight slap? Sorry. Huh? What happens? Priyanka wakes up. The moment she wakes up, she understands the dream was how many minutes old? 3 minutes old or 4 minutes old. In that 4-minute dream, we projected a perfect continuity. Was there a first father in the dream? Was Priyanka actually born in that Bombay hospital? We project it, but did it really happen? Now I ask you, I go to any one of you, Jyotiji, how old are you? You may say, I'm 40 or 45, whatever it is. I say, I don't believe you. And then again, in the waking world, you are able to account for every single minute of your life. Exactly like how you did in the dream world. So that is what Yoga Vashishta is saying. Yoga Vashishta, conversation between Vashishta and Rama. Vashishta is telling, Rama, this waking world is a long dream. The dream world, we go to a dream, we experience it, gets over. This waking world also is a long dream. It started when you were born. It will end when we pass away. And then we enter into another dream. So one dream after another, and one dream after another, we are constantly going through. I'm just muting. So I don't know. Just we quickly go through something which is again it's incredible how this analysis was done because you cannot prove it. The three states of consciousness. So many people who have not trained in Vedanta, you ask them what are the three states of consciousness. What will they say? Conscious, subconscious, unconscious. That's a totally different usage. The three states of consciousness that every human being go through, every normal human being go through is deep sleep, that is a dreamless sleep, the dream world by the dreamer, the waking world, which you are experiencing now. But there is a fourth plane of God consciousness, unconditioned, pure consciousness called Turiya. Turiya itself means fourth. There's a morning prayer we do every day in the academy. It has an invocation of the Atma Bodha, another text by Adi Shankaracharya. Bhajagovindam also by Adi Shankaracharya. He says, Sagatim Turiyam. The supreme goal in life is to aspire to reach that Turiya state, the state of unconditioned, pure God consciousness, which we do not know. What we know is waking, dream, deep sleep. All our life is a continuous cycle of waking, dream, deep sleep. In the waking world, you're a waker. In the dream world, you're a dreamer. In the deep sleep world, you're a deep sleeper. Based on that, the famous question of King Janaka. King Janaka was a king sleeping in his palace. Suddenly, he dreamt this horrible dream that he was fighting a war. He lost the war. All his soldiers were killed. Somehow he escaped with his life, and for days on end, he was starving. All this is happening in his dream. Days on end, he was starving. Finally, when he got a little bit of food, as he was going to put it in his mouth, one vulture came and took it away. And he fell down like shouting, he fell down. And that's when he woke up. He woke up sweating and then he realized that it was just a dream. But he didn't go back to sleep. He called all his ministers in the middle of the night. The ministers thought, what's happening? Is there a war? And he asked, it's considered one of the most famous questions in spiritual literature. Am I King Janaka who dreamt he was a beggar? Am I King Janaka who dreamt he was a beggar? Or am I the beggar now dreaming I am the king? We will say, of course you're the king. But the real philosophy is here. Am I Basab dreaming that I'm Roger Federer? Or am I Roger Federer dreaming I'm taking this Vedanta class? Now, when you are in the dream, you take the dream world as real and reject the other thing. And when you are in the waking world, you dismiss the dream world. In other words, if I am dreaming and taking this class, I won't know until I wake up. That's where inception helps a lot. Inception, there's a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, and then you suddenly lose sight of reality. Similarly, we have lose sight of reality. And there are characters, we will say highly tamasic people, who in the waking world, they lose themselves in some virtual reality. We have lost sight of the supreme reality. We are caught up in some reality. Now they don't want to face the normal reality. It's called Vyavarika Satyam, means a practical reality. This world is practically real. So while we are, that's the maturity that I'm cautioning about. That is, this maturity is more important than understanding the illusion. If you understand the illusion and you don't have this maturity, it's I will face bad karma actually. But first is to understand, while you are in the dream, if the dream trigger comes, run. The dream trigger is an illusion for the guru, dream guru, not for us. So we have to follow the rules of the game. Otherwise, the karma will function. So karma functions in the illusion. Karma doesn't function beyond the illusion. So, and Sage, the ministers were confused. What is this the Janaka is saying? But when Ashtavakra, the great saint, came, he told Ashtavakra, it's not connected to the illusion, but he said, you're not the waker, King Janaka, you're not the beggar, the dreamer, you're not deep sleeper, zero, you are yourself. Now going through certain experiences. So, waking, dream, deep sleep. So let's just study this states of consciousness. Anybody has any questions so far?
Sir, it's a concept. Like, if I think about it, there are so many things which are coming to my brain right now. Like you say, illusion and the saints and all those people, those who have reached to the part of illusion. And then when I consider my own self, I feel that this is a endless task of being on this path where we have to do bhakti, jnana, and the third one that you says.
It's not endless. In the beginning, it is very difficult. In the beginning, it seems like you have to put in a lot of effort. But once you start putting in effort and you start enjoying it, the path will come very, very easy. It only seems poisonous in the beginning. Towards the end, it will become nectar.
So what is the state of illusion? Like you said, people who are enlightened. So what is that state like?
It's a state which we cannot really experience it. It's better you reach it. So that way, just take this as something very, very interesting. Don't worry too much about it. Don't try to like think. So this is something you should relax about. What we have to put in effort is that karma bhakti part. Playing your role as Priyanka properly is more important. This is just to like, okay, can this be true? Let this grow inside your mind very, very organically. See, what happens is, okay, a simple example to explain the illusion is the scriptures are saying that this experience of the world is very much like a projection of a movie. What happens in a movie theater? There is a white screen. That white screen for us, okay, there's a white screen. And then there is a film. And the light of projector passing through the film, there is a beautiful projection. Right. Now, same thing is happening. The white screen is Brahman itself. They say the Brahman is a substratum upon which everything is superimposed. When we mistake a rope for a snake, we say the snake is superimposed upon the rope. Superimposed. There is no snake. There is only a rope. So, Brahman is the white screen. Now, what is this phenomena of the world? There is mind. Now, that mind is the main problem. The mind is there, and mind is nothing but pool of thoughts. When that pure consciousness, Atman, the light of pure consciousness passes through the film of the mind, you see your world. And this can be easily understood. When the mind temporarily switches off, what happens? Your world disappears. You are in deep sleep. When you are when you are put into deep anesthesia and the mind is completely cut off, the mind is there, it's not gone, but mind is completely cut off. Your whole world is gone. Body can be chopped, but you don't protest because the mind has been temporarily gone unmanifest. So when the mind is there, the world is there. No mind, no world. Child's mind, children's world. Black gambler's mind, gambler's world. Now, through this, by understanding, it is the mind that is projecting the world. So the mind is the key thing. If I am able to reduce all my thoughts of the mind and transcend all thoughts, then you will reach that fourth state, Turiya. So now we are not motivated to reduce the thoughts of the mind because we take it for granted that there is a world existing and I have to run after it to find enjoyment. When that is the condition, when we are constantly increasing the thoughts, so then we are lost in delusion. So we are studying the illusion to inspire us to reduce the weight of the mind, means reduce the thoughts of the mind. It's not a weight reduction program, it's a thought reduction program. What is spiritual life? Thought reduction program. Keep reducing the thoughts. And how do you reduce thoughts? Entertain good thoughts. From physical to emotional to intellectual to spiritual. Instead of thinking of yourself, family, community, country, all human beings, all living creatures, the self in all living creatures. So the higher you go, the subtler the thoughts, as the quality of thoughts improve, the quantity reduces. Can you speak a little bit about the relationship between desires and Maya? The desires keep the Maya rigid. So the desires is what gives life to the Maya. If desires are not there, the Maya will disappear. It is desires. Desire is nothing but in the mind. The mind is pool of desires, thoughts. You reduce desires, so it's desires that is holding the Maya together. So, but let's take it separately. Let's understand Maya. So when we are explaining Maya here, we are not bringing in desires, but there is a interlink. Without desires, there will be no Maya. It's the desire which is manifesting now. We understand the Maya per se. That, as I said, that concept itself gives a very big punch. Like this is an incredible food for thought. We have absolutely no doubt, and I'm sure if you have a doubt, I'll be scared. We have absolutely no doubt that the dream world is imaginary. Does anybody have a problem with that? Now, dream world is imaginary, right? Now, what additional message we are given is, if you say the dream world is imaginary, what is happening in the dream world which is not happening here? Or in other words, whatever is happening in the waking world can also happen in the dream world. I'm knocking in waking world. In the dream world also you can knock. In the dream world, you go for a holiday, you see the Mount Everest, you see the sun, summer sun is there, the ocean is there, your dream children is there, dream family is there, dream car is there, the dream concrete jungle is there. Everything that is happening in the waking world can happen in the dream. And while we are caught up in the dream, nobody knows that it's a dream. Only when we wake up. So the spiritual master is saying, how do you not know that you are caught up in a dream now? That starts shaking our foundation. Okay, is this a dream? Or was that a dream? So there is a big possibility. So, I would say first understand Maya per se, and then we'll have to deal with our desires. Then we understand, okay, sir, I understand theoretically that everything is a Maya, but I'm still caught up in it. How do I get out of it? Reduce desires, reduce your thoughts. If you're able to, so that is a separate side of the philosophy, where how do you practice the spiritual disciplines and what is the purpose of the spiritual disciplines? You reduce thoughts, you make your mind, see, the more thoughts, the mind is agitated. It's almost like saying when the mind is agitated, the Maya is becoming more solid and real for yourself. But as thoughts reduced, it's not like the world disappears. As thoughts reduce, you are more detached to your world. You are more in control of your thoughts. Finally, the world will disappear only in meditation. And today people are meditating to calm the mind. It's mockery, because only when your mind is calm and composed, you reduce your thoughts to transcend the mind. So any further questions? Okay. So the concept of how these three states. Sorry, Sumuk, you raised your hand as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just have a reference to Priyanka because I also studied the 3-year course. So in the beginning, I also had this, curiosity. Like, what is this state, the fourth state? Where is it? Obviously, if somebody speaks about it, then we can understand. So the question what you asked, exactly the same question Arjuna asked in chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 54. He says, what is the description of one who has crossed over the illusion? To which, like a few verses after that, Krishna gives a beautiful description. A person who is like completely equanimous, no agitation, he's not affected by whatever he loses or whatever he gains. So maybe if you want a reference, just to appease that curiosity. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So this fourth state is unconditioned. Waking, dream, deep sleep are conditioned states of consciousness. This also we have to be told that waking, dream, deep sleep are conditioned states of consciousness. It's like seeing Pepsi, Coke, and Fanta. Fourth state is the pure water, unconditioned. What is the fourth state? It's a state of, why do we need to reach it? It's a state of supreme bliss. It's a state of reality. The fourth state is always there. We are not aware of it. It's a state of absolute fulfillment. Now, how does the three states come about? And anytime you feel I'm going fast, just ask me to slow down and ask questions. Otherwise, I'm going very, very carefully. Every human being is constituted of three bodies. There is the causal body. Causal body, as the name suggests, it's the cause of our personality. What is the causal body? The causal body is unmanifest. It comprises of our vasanas. What is vasanas? We don't intellect cannot understand vasanas. Intellect is the product of vasanas. It cannot understand the producer, vasanas. Vasana is the basic stuff with which we are made up of. Our innate nature, our inherent tendencies, our impressions and inclinations. Sometimes we use the word samskaras or swadharma. That's vasanas, our basic nature. They are our unmanifest thoughts and desires. See, unmanifest thought and desire we cannot understand. We understand thought only when it manifests. Thought of a car I understand. Thought of a cigarette I understand. Where did that thought come from? Nobody can understand. So causal body is the seed. Okay, so there is a causal body which we cannot conceive, comprehend. It is unmanifest. It's our basic nature. It is that from which thoughts and desires come. When the causal body manifests partially, it's called the subtle body. Causal body is unmanifest, subtle body is partially manifest. Causal body is vasanas. When the vasanas manifest, the subtle body is the mind and the intellect. Our emotions, feelings, desires, likes and dislikes, our thoughts, all this is our subtle body. The seed has become a sapling. So we have a causal body, we have a subtle body. When the subtle body further manifests, then it becomes the gross body. Gross body is the final or the full manifestation. Unmanifest, partially manifest, full manifest. Vasanas, mind and intellect, now it's a physical body. See, this is just technical, but since we have been taught, I am passing it on. There is a difference between gross body and subtle body. Sorry, there's a difference between gross body and physical body. The moment we say gross body, I mean, in sometimes it's used interchangeably, but there is a technical difference. For what is worth, when we have to study properly, we have to study properly. The moment you say gross body, it includes subtle body and causal body. The causal body becomes a subtle body. The subtle body, I'll show the slide. The causal body becomes a subtle body. The subtle body manifests as the gross body. But when we say physical body, it doesn't include subtle body and the causal body. Example of only physical body. What is the example of physical body? Anybody? Where is the body without thoughts?
Sleep.
Huh?
Deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
Person in coma.
Coma, when the dead body.
Dead body.
Dead body is just the physical body, but there is no subtle body or causal body. In sleep, the causal body is still there. The subtle body is gone unmanifest. So technically, dead body is the physical body. But gross body includes causal body and subtle body. There cannot be a gross body without it's just technical, doesn't matter. But the three bodies are important. We cannot conceive causal body. We can only conceive gross body, the physical body, which is perceiving and acting. That's a tree. You can't change the tree. Emotions and thoughts, it's a sapling. You can mold your thoughts. As your thoughts, so your body. And where does this subtle body come from? That's a mystery, but the scriptures give it a name. Causal body, vasanas, unmanifest nature. Is this slide clear? Right. Now the three states. Now see, causal body also we don't understand. Now this also we don't understand, but there is a clear proof that will go to a different class. I don't want to take up time now. There is a supreme self, pure consciousness, Atman. What is the power that is making my finger move? What is the power that makes your heart beat now? What is the power that makes your eyes to see? What is the power that is making the sun to shine? There is that supreme unmanifest divinity. It's called the self, pure consciousness Atman. Now this is a theory. Who found out? Enlightened people only found out. See, even the previous one, subtle and causal body, we understand. We can understand that, okay, this causal body is coming from something, and that's the causal body. But we cannot really prove it. Now, where is consciousness? And what is this theory that is given is when the pure consciousness, when the light of consciousness. So now you remember the example of the movie theater. The light of the projector passing through the film projects the movie. Okay? Every human being is caught up in waking world, which we are in now. When we go to sleep, we will be in dream world. Now, dream world is totally different from the waking world. I'm giving the standard example of Swamiji. A married man goes to a party, eats fully, and he goes back home and he has such a big loan that people are coming and troubling him. This is in the waking state. A married man goes to a party, overeats, and by the time he comes home, there are people coming and troubling him because he's not paid a big loan. He falls off to a dream. Swamiji says all married men dream they are bachelors. In the dream, he is a bachelor. He's not eaten food for many days and he's jumping with joy because he's won a lottery. Now, the lottery money in the dream cannot repay the loan of the waking state. In the waking state, the person can be an athlete. He could dream that he's invalid in the dream. The dream world and the waking world are totally different. The waking world may have a COVID and we are quarantined. Dream world may be in COVID free and you're going for a holiday, having a party. So the worlds are different. You are experiencing it, but the world is different. Waking world is waking world, dream world is dream world. Coming back to the slide. Sorry. So deep sleep is when the pure consciousness passing through the causal body, you experience the deep sleep state. You're in the deep sleep state, you are a deep sleeper. You are experiencing nothing. There was this Australian student, I've mentioned this sometimes, this Australian student, this is 20 years back in my course time. His name was Steve. He used to struggle getting up in the morning. And then breakfast time, the students will tease him. Hey Steve, what did you study? He said, I was investigating the deep sleep state of consciousness and so far I found nothing. In deep sleep state, you will find nothing only, right? So this deep sleep state is a state of nothingness. And then when we fall off to a dream, what is the explanation for the dream world? When the pure consciousness functions through the causal body, then you fall into that dream state of consciousness, you become a dreamer. And when the pure consciousness functions through the gross body, you experience the waking state of a waker. Now we are caught up in waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. All this is happening. Now, Stephen, your link. All this is happening because of the mind. The vasanas are there. Now you cannot directly deal with vasanas. Vasanas manifest as desires. So now if we have a lifestyle where we are increasing desires, so that's what generally people do in ignorance. We perform desire-ridden, selfish, egocentric activities. We just run after the world thinking world will give me happiness. So then we are chasing the world, thoughts keep on increasing. Thoughts keep on increasing, desires keep on increasing, mind keeps on increasing. So the causal and subtle body remains. And we remain caught up in this cycle of waking, dream, deep sleep, waking, dream, deep sleep. Now when we wake up to an understanding that, okay, I need to reduce my thoughts, I need to exhaust my desires. And then when we get into a selfless, sacrificial way of activity without being egoistic, and practice surrender, bhakti, and gain knowledge as we are gaining, thoughts will reduce. When we don't have knowledge, see, Jnana Yoga, what it does is, it changes the direction of our thought desires. When we don't have knowledge, our direction of desires is towards the world. When we gain spiritual knowledge, our desire, now we slowly start to, these kind of desires come. Let me learn the scripture. Let me practice karma, bhakti, jnana. Let me know what the truth is. You're fired up with that incredible, most important quality of a spiritual seeker, mumukshatva, yearning for liberation. That's a direction. You need to have knowledge. So Jnana Yoga changes the direction of desires. Bhakti, we say, improves the quality of desires. From me, myself, to family, to community, to all human beings, to God. Quality improves. And karma is what I covered. Selfless actions without, selfless, unselfish, sacrificial actions without ego. You just do what you're supposed to do. So now if you are engaging in thought reduction program, the spiritual disciplines, thoughts reduce, thoughts reduce, thoughts reduce, mind becomes calm, serene, mind becomes calm and serene, you are detached, you are relaxed. And then mind becomes contemplative, meditative. In meditation, you transcend all thoughts and then you will realize the self. You will transcend the waking, deep sleep and achieve enlightenment. So let's see what the next slide is. This is like a summary, I don't know, it should not confuse you. Causal body is vasanas, the seed of the personality. Subtle body is a summary, a repetition. Subtle body, mind and intellect and vasanas. Subtle body means causal body is already there. Gross body is body, mind, intellect plus vasanas. Gross body means subtle body and causal body is already there. We covered it, I'm just putting it in a different way. When the pure consciousness, the God principle, Atman functions to the gross body, you become the Veka, experiencing the waking world. The pure consciousness functioning through the subtle body, that's the mind and intellect, you become the dreamer, experiencing the dream world. And when the pure consciousness functions through the causal body, deep sleeper, you experience the deep sleeper. Now, these all things just happen. I mean, you can try to sleep, but how sleep will come, it's all divine grace only. What is that mechanism which makes us go through waking dream? See, suppose it happens. It's probably happening, you will not know. Suppose tonight I go to sleep and I wake up in a totally different world. The memory makes us believe that there is a perfect continuity. Okay. This thought is coming, I'm just putting it down. This thought was, I don't remember the author's name, but he says, in the heart of this moment lies eternity. In the heart of this moment, is it the heart of this moment? In the present, basically in the present moments. See, we are always, think about it. I could be blabbering, but you think about it. Don't take it for granted. You have to do your own thinking. We are always living in the present. The past and the future are imaginary projections. We believe we have a past, like the dreamer believed that he had a 45-year-old past. The past is just a memory. So we are always living in the present. That's why he says, in the heart of this moment there is eternity. That's the life of a sage as well. We say they end perception with perception. They are always living in the present. Where is the past? Where is the future? There is always the present. The present is that which is eternal. It is always there. So now we think that we are going through this deep sleep state. We understand. We go through the dream state. We understand. Power of now. Yeah. That guy only says, in the heart of this moment lies eternity. We go through the dream. So dream state. So we are able to understand waking dream, deep sleep, waking dream, deep sleep. Now, Vedanta goes on to say that if while you are caught up in the dream world appears as real as the waking world, you will not understand that you are dreaming until you wake up. And when we wake up, we are very, very eloquently dismissing the dream world as a figment of imagination, a meaningless nothing. Now, why are you bother about the dream world? You come back to the same world. Now there is a Upanishad.
See, you missed a message.
Which one?
I think one of the members messaged saying
Acha. Yeah, I saw that. The power of now, right? Eckhart Tolle. I think he only said, in the heart of the moment lies. Is the present without time, space, is the present without time and space unless past and future? I don't understand. Stephen, can you repeat that?
Sorry,
Is
unlike.
Unlike. Is the present without time and space? Unlike the past and future. Is the present without time and space? See, in the present, see, for time, we say we need two experiences. See, space is there, right? Everything is housed in space. Uh, the now is the eternal time. We measure time by when we understand we are going through two experiences. See, just as I don't know whether I covered it, I'm just giving you for you to think about. There is no distance at one point. Distance is measured always where there are 2 points. What is the distance at Goa? You cannot ask. What is the distance between Goa and Bombay, Bombay and Pune? You need 2 points to measure distance. Similarly, time is said to be the interval between two experiences. So in the present experience, it's just an experience. You need two experiences to measure time. But everything is happening in space, no? In the present moment, you are in space. And in the present moment, if you put in any cause, in the future, it will come up as an effect. So, all that I can think of is that when you think of this now, the now is always there. See, now you cannot go into the past. Past is a memory. Now you cannot go into the future. Future will come, but it's imaginary. We are always in that now. The now seems to be depicting eternity. That's why that guy says, in the heart of this moment lies eternity. The now is always there. You can never be not in now. Okay. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Is a good way to end the class. And definitely next class, unless you guys bring up some question, will be the explanation of the illusions of Swami Ramatita. Yes, Muk?
See, you were saying, sorry, before I
Yeah.
interrupted, you were starting to say in the Upanishad something.
Upanishad. So that's how I'll end the class. So I'm just going back to the thought flow that. So this is what we have to think about, and this is the real philosophy. But for the waking, dream, deep sleep, Vedanta falls really flat. Only because we are actually going through experiences of waking, dream, deep sleep. Then Vedanta really makes sense. You know? See, there was a student. I forget the name of the student. So see, with waking, dream, deep sleep, most complicated questions can be answered, and it's not imaginary. We are all going through waking, dream, deep sleep. So very difficult questions. The moment you put into the filter of waking, dream, deep sleep, everything can be answered. So there was this student who asked a question, and then moment we started answering and we started comparing it to the dream world, he says, no. Answer it without reference to three states of consciousness. We are going through three states of consciousness. In fact, the Western philosophy, the limitation of the Western philosophy is, if you study Western philosophy, you will become a good human being. But it doesn't, I don't know how many of it talks about going beyond the illusions. The limitation of Western philosophy is that it is only taking data from the waking world. Whereas Vedanta, Vedantic scriptures take data of deep sleep, dream, and waking world. See, every night we may be going through 30 dreams. Science says, they measure the brain movements. The interesting thing is that when you dream and go back to sleep, you don't remember the dream. When you dream and go back to sleep, you don't remember the dream. Only when the dream wakes you up, you remember. And if you remember the dream, the masters, Swamiji always used to encourage us, remember how vivid, how real the dream world was. As vivid and real as the waking world. That will make us really philosophic. Is this world real or that world real? That's how it happened to Janaka. His memory of that beggar was so real. He says, am I that beggar now dreaming I am the king? Am I the king now that is dreaming I'm the beggar? So the dream world is as real as the waking world while we go through it. So waking, dream, deep sleep makes us really philosophic. The philosophical part is that if now Basab is dreaming and taking the class, I won't know. It's only when I wake up I said, Arey Bapre, I'm so much desire to take classes that I'm dreaming also that I'm taking a class. And what a dream class I took. Good class, dream class. Now, is it possible to be or to contribute in this world while we are beyond the state of illusion? We'll come back to it. Remind this question in the next class. Okay. Now there are not many Upanishads also actually talk about this waking dream and Maya. I mean, I have not gone through it, but Swamiji says there is one fantastic Upanishad called the Mandukya Upanishad. We study Mundaka Upanishad. There's a Upanishad called Mandukya Upanishad. So I'm just going to that slide. So this is what that Bhagavad Gita verse was saying. Deluded by the gunas, we project the three worlds. So gunas means it can sattva. This prism is sattva, rajas, tamas, or gross, subtle and causal body. Pure consciousness, God, passing through this conditioning becomes the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. Okay. I'm going back to the three states. These are the three states. Now Mandukya Upanishad, which is a very, very famous and powerful Upanishad, they say that there is no four states of consciousness. Deep sleep, dream, waker, turiya. They say there is no four states of consciousness. They say there is only three states of consciousness. What Vedanta says is there is a deep sleep state. We all experience sleep. There is a dream state. We have experienced dreams, so we can understand it. Now we are awake. There is a waking state. And now it is told that if you exhaust all your thoughts and desires and you reach enlightenment, you will be reveling in an unconditioned, pure God consciousness, the state of, which is that state of absolute bliss, supreme fulfillment, state of reality, where whatever happens to the body, mind, intellect, or you are reveling in absolute bliss. There is a fourth state. Now suddenly, Mandukya Upanishad is saying there is only three states of consciousness. Now my question to you is, what are the three states which Mandukya Upanishad says is there? Which state is not there? Ullas, Ullas don't answer. Anybody else? Because I think Ullas will give the right answer. Chan, I don't know whether you remember. Jyotiji, if you have to ask, no. Stephen, what do you think? Which one is exempt?
I'm not quite sure.
Not quite sure. Take a guess. I'm putting it again. The highest Upanishad is saying there is three states. So obviously they are not talking about waking, dream, deep sleep. Fourth state is there. Which are the other two states? These three states are combined into two states. Okay, Ullas, go ahead if you want to answer.
Waking and dream are one state.
Waking
So
and dream.
waking is not that, the dream state is.
The Mandukya Upanishad is saying there is deep sleep state, there is a state of reality, the rest of it is just a dream. There is dream, there is deep sleep, there is reality. This is also a dream. We are caught up in a dream only. There is no waking dream, there is only dream. But there is a difference in the sense, dream world is like an animal life. You just go through the experiences, you really can't do anything. In the waking state, at least we believe I can do something. I can consciously evolve or devolve. The choice of action is very, very, I have to use the word seems. The choice of action seems very clear, prominent in the waking state. Time, space, causation seems very, very hazy. But still, don't lose out the philosophical message. If this is a dream, I won't know. I will imagine that I'm doing something. So which means just consciously put in effort to understand the scriptures and follow it. So again, I'll conclude by saying the whole world is a stage. All men and women may are players. We have to play our role perfectly. We have to play our role in a way so that our mind's desires keep reducing. If this is like a dream, I have to get out of the dream. How? By functioning properly. So in the next class, what we'll cover three things. That's the play of illusions. We will cover a concept called non-apprehension and misapprehension. We will discuss the famous example of rope and snake, and something which even the Mandukya Upanishad also is not covered. Swami Ramatirtha breaks down this illusion and says this play of illusion, that's the title of the topic, the play of illusions. It's a play of intrinsic and extrinsic illusion. There are two types of illusions every human being is caught up in. If the waking world is also another dream, if it's an illusion, illusion means a false image. You're going through something which is not. You mistake a rope to be a snake. You mistake a boulder to be an elephant. So if this is an illusion, the illusion is there's two types of illusion. There is an intrinsic illusion and extrinsic illusion. This is no Upanishad covers this. That's what we have to be grateful to Swamiji for, because he understood that Swami Ramatirtha, he was a genius mind. He was a very, very mathematical mind. Having gone beyond the illusion, he gave a theory how this illusion is coming about. And there is, you can do your own thinking, but there is one punchline. There's one punch. When you get that, there is that wow effect. That helps you again to be more detached, to more pursue the truth more sincerely or seriously. But world is always real. We have to function properly. But if you function properly, we will overcome this illusion. It's not, illusion doesn't mean, oh, this table is not there and I'm not there, you are not there. That is for the person who just come out of the dream. The dream world is illusion now to us because we are awake. How can you remain in the dream and say that it's an illusion? No. But if you don't suspect or you don't conceive that this could be like a dream, then you remain caught up in it. You are not making any attempt to get out of it. So we are studying the illusion so that we get more inspired to get out of that illusion. Getting out of the illusion is what Stephen said, reduce your desires. Practically, you have to reduce your desires. Understanding the theory about illusion will not help you overcome the illusion. In other words, somebody does not know this is an illusion, but he does karma bhakti jnana, reduces his mind, he will realize the self. The illusion is another beautiful concept to give us support on our spiritual journey. Don't take things as it is. It's a meaningless nothing. See, sometimes when we do this 4D games or 3D games, first time we will all be shaking, you are screaming. Suppose there is a video camera put outside and showing you what all you are doing. Next time when you go, you'll be more careful. You'll enjoy it more because realize you're not caught up in it. So something like that. Anybody has any question? Yeah, if you...
A lot of questions. Today's topic is lot of questions.
So, Harry Potter, just relax. This is not to be taken seriously. Just relax. It's entertainment. This is to be taken as entertainment. This is not to be taken as serious. We take the other part as serious. Be unselfish, don't be egoistic. That becomes entertainment and this is all over. Because, see, when we have the impurities and we take this seriously, that means it's escapism. You don't want to become a better human being. You just want to say, oh, world is illusion. I don't want to do anything. That is escapism. That is tamas. No. If you want to come out of this is maturity. What is maturity? If I have to transcend the illusion and come out of the illusion, I must become a better human being. More unselfish, less egoistic, doing obligations properly, not stupidly indulging in the illusion. All the wrong things I'll do. And then I'll say this world is illusion. You cannot escape the karma. Karma is functioning. So what kind of question? Immediately ask me one question. Otherwise you take your time and ask me later. Any questions? Okay. We'll end with the prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.
Hari Om Basabji, thank you.
Thank you,
Hari
sir.
Om. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om Basabji. Thank you.
Hari Om Ma. Thank you.